eighth note triplets versus 16th notes. What am I talking about? I'm really just talking about the physical feeling that separates the two. There is a distinct physicality to your triplets that is not the same as the physicality you experience from your 16th notes. This, I think, is universal for most instruments, but for me, as a drummer, it applies to the drums and it applies to basically specifically my sticking and how high I take the sticks when I'm playing triplets, which kind of helps me relax into the triplets, and how I sort of add a little bit of tension. Maybe tension's the wrong word, but I have a little bit more of a controlled execution. My sticks aren't coming up as high when I'm doing the 16th notes. So that is really just referring to if we're playing 8th note triplets on the snare and then we go into 16th notes, we notice that physical change. So now, I have an exercise for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 8th note triplets, alternating bass and snare, and then 16th notes alternating bass and snare. And then on the last note of the 16th notes, we're going to double up on the bass or double up on the snare and reverse the pattern. So here's what I mean. If we start with the snare, so we're going measure of triplets, measure of 16th notes, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So the would be on the bass drum. So then we're going to do a bass drum on the and then another bass drum on beat 1, so that now we're flipping the pattern. We're doing bass, snare, instead of snare, bass. So here's what it's going to be without the syncopation that we're going to add in a second. So we're just doing triplets into 16th notes. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And then the 16th notes will be 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And then we're going to double up on the bass drum. So then it'll be 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Awesome. Now let's add either a quarter note or an eighth note on the ride cymbal and try to do this whole cycle. So it's going to be like this. One more time. That's... Try it.